Good afternoon, this is Matt Lindsay with Precision Home Group here in Anchorage. Hey, I'm coming to you guys today to talk to you about things that listing agents should be doing. So what I'm talking about is expect for deals to fall through, that it will happen. No matter how great of an agent you are, deals will fall through. So what are you supposed to do? What are we supposed to do if that happens? And that's what we're answering today. I truly believe that there's 5 responsibilities that a listing agent or any agent should be doing, should hold themselves to if a deal does fall through. So first and foremost, I believe that we should be proactive, not reactive. And what I mean by that is that if we are just reactive, then we're just kind of being the effect of that deal falling through, not the cause. Now, I'm not saying we want to cause a deal to fall through, but if we become cause in this, then we're actually going to be able to change what's going on. And so one way we can be proactive is actually the buyer could say, hey, we want to back out. Be proactive, go after that, talk to the other agents, see what solutions you can bring to the table to maybe save the deal before it actually does fall through. Other financing, network, you have a network of people of other, if it's falling apart over financials, if it's falling apart because of repairs, of costs, whatever it is, find solutions and provide those solutions by being proactive. Number 2 is going to be provide the seller with other buyer options. So you should not be counting on just one buyer at all times. You should be looking for ways to actually provide more buyers to your seller with backup offers and other things. And so if you can do that, if one deal does fall apart, you can be bringing in some of those other buyers to replace them almost immediately. And I'll get into how I've actually been able to do that here recently with a deal that just fell apart this last week. Number 3 here is never rely on one of anything. Now this is closely aligned with number 2, which was provide the seller with other buyer options, but never rely on one of anything. If you're relying on one, chances are it's going to fall apart. So if you're relying on one deal, then chances are it's going to fall apart. Your pipeline should be so packed with deals, with buyers, with listings that you as a listing agent aren't relying just on one. So in this situation, when we're talking about one deal falling apart, you should be filling that pipeline full of potential buyers or other agents that you can go to identify buyers for that property, so that if that deal does fall apart, then you can just go find yourself a new buyer for that property, for that seller. Number 4, stay positive and provide solutions, especially if the deal goes south. So if you are a listing agent and you're going to tell your seller, hey, this deal is falling apart, we cannot save it, that's a pretty negative thing, right? Well, it doesn't always have to be. And what I mean by that is if you stay positive, you stay in front of that, you provide solutions with the bad news that you're bringing, you're going to be able to maintain a higher energy. You're going to be able to maintain a higher positivity level than just oh, it sucks, I mean, we can't do anything, let's pull it off the market, we're not doing it, we're done with this, you suck, you're a terrible agent, all this different types of stuff. So stay positive when the deal goes south, and you're going to have a much better outcome, and you'll be able to provide better solutions to your seller. The last thing here is take responsibility for the buyer. Now you'd be like, what, you're the listing agent. Why would you take responsibility for the buyer representing the seller? Well, the philosophy I have when we're running through a real estate transaction is that if I take responsibility for both sides of the deal, for the seller and the buyer, no matter who I'm representing, always have their best interest at heart and on the forefront of your mind and what you're representing, but take responsibility for the other side. And by doing so, you're going to be able to actually see more deals come to close, see more deals actually become more of a win-win situation, see more deals throughout the year, and you're going to be able to make sure that they close and close on time, which is really important to a lot of different people, both buyers and sellers. So take responsibility for both sides of the deals. If there's things that come up, provide solutions, stay positive, and make sure you're not just counting on one deal. All this said, we just had a commercial deal actually fall apart last minute after it extended and extended and extended. Just due to some circumstances, we had to cut ties, and then the deal did fall through. But not to worry, because I was actually pitching that deal to other people I was actually able to bring in a buyer, and we're pending here 48 hours after that deal fell through because I never counted on one buyer. I also provided solutions to my seller, and I was able to stay positive through that instead of just being, oh, woe is me, I can't do it, this sucks. I was looking for solutions and staying positive. So thank you so much for joining, guys. This has been the 5 responsibilities for a listing agent to really apply when a deal falls through.